Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ron and this is MotorTube. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today we got a very special vehicle for you guys, and it is sitting right behind us. It is the 2021 Wrangler Rubicon 392, and yes, I did say 392. And well, here it is, the first ever 392 Wrangler. Who would have thought that Jeep would put a big motor inside their Wranglers? They did a 6.2 liter supercharged with the Trackhawk, and now they're moving on to the rest of their fleet and putting big motors in it, and I am here for it. They put a 392 engine in the Wrangler. It is a 6.4 liter V8 producing 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. And the best part is the exhaust sounds as great as those numbers, but you'll have to wait till later on in the video to hear what it actually sounds. You do not want to miss this. So let's start off by doing a quick walk around of the Wrangler, but let's address the color real quick. If you guys are wondering what the name of the color is, it's called Sting Gray. It's a very nice gray, and then it also has gold features all over this thing. I'm going to show you guys a few of them. So here it says Rubicon, it's in black and outlined in gold. Here you have the Jeep logo outlined in gold. You have the trail rated 4x4, it's in gold and gray. And then you have the 392 badge right here outlined in gold. You have these hooks right here, they're in gold as well. So there's a lot of gold features, and the gold actually goes really well with the color of the vehicle. Also, you have this huge hood. I mean, you have an SRT motor, it's only right to put a huge vent, and it just looks so aggressive. Like, I would have never thought that a Wrangler could look like this and be this fast, but they did it, and it's here. So let's continue with the walk around. As we go to the back, you start to notice that there isn't really much difference between this and a regular Rubicon, and honestly, there isn't. It pretty much looks exactly like any other Rubicon. I mean, even the hood, I've seen them on other Wranglers, so that's not special. Besides the badging, I mean, it says 392 on the hood, it's pretty much the same. The only thing that you can notice, and I don't know if you guys noticed, is the stance. So let's talk about that. So the 392 has a 1-inch lift over the regular Rubicon, and it has a 2-inch lift over a regular Wrangler. So it sits a little higher than a Rubicon and a Wrangler, but it's not that much more. I mean, it's literally 1 inch over the Rubicon. Some of you guys might not even notice, but that's pretty much the only difference from the exterior that you could notice. And then as we move to the back, you have a fifth wheel right there mounted. You have more gold features. You have your exhaust tips, 2 of them on each side. Look at that. Yeah, you got 2 here and 2 here, which means now I guess we gotta start it. So now let's look at what's under the hood, and well, here's how you pop the hood. Bam and bam. You come up here, and yeah, it's kind of hard to do with one hand because this thing isn't electric at all. So if you just let it, it'll literally fall on your hand. I mean, it'll literally basically squeeze your hand in there. It'll trap it. It's very hard to do with one hand, which is why I'm gonna put the camera down. So let's just set the camera up here. Alright. It's difficult to do because it's just weird the way they set it up. Alright. And then you need this. Yes. They still use this. Like, we are in 2021 and they still use this. I'm sure there's a reason why they use this. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. But then here is the 392. It says 392 right there in gold, and it's all here. 6.4 liter V8, like I said, producing 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. You got all sort of vents over here, so they're all functional. So this goes to here, and I think this is the intake, and then you got another one right here. Bam. So everything is functional. I don't know too much about what's going on here, but this is the hydro guide. I guess that's what they call it. Do your research. I can only really address what I know. But yeah, here is what's under the hood. You also have LED lights all around. These are halos. I don't know if you can see it. They light up like that. And yeah, I mean, here it is. I mean, tell me your honest thoughts about this Wrangler. And also, let's address the wheels, because that's very important, and that's kind of one of the things that makes this different from any other Wranglers. So here's a better look at the wheels. You have 17-inch bead locks all around, wrapped around 285/70/17 tires. As you can see, the wheels are actually really nice. I'm surprised they put bead locks on here. This might be the first Jeep or Wrangler I've seen with bead locks, and it actually looks really good. It also has Fox suspension all around, and as you can see, the back has it too. It says Fox Rubicon, which brings the question, do all Rubicons have Fox suspension? I'm gonna believe that they all do. I'm not sure. I'm gonna let you guys answer that question for me in the comments below. I do believe all of them have it, because a Rubicon has a different suspension than a regular Wrangler. So I think they all got Fox suspension, which brings the point, besides the motor, what's so special about this that you're willing to pay $20,000 more than a regular Rubicon? So let's continue with the rest of the review, and maybe we can find, you know, what makes this Jeep so cool and what makes people willing to pay $80,000 for this Jeep. Now let's step into the interior, and boom, you got leather seats and you got gold stitching. Again, more with the gold accents. You got Rubicon $392 and then a bunch of gold stitching. You got more gold stitching here. Nothing really fancy about this door, because obviously this door can be taken apart. But let's step in here. The steering wheel, you notice, is very different than other Wranglers. You got gold stitching. You got this right here, just very aggressive and thick, so you know it grips your hand. You also have paddle shifters, so you got one here and you got one here. I would definitely have preferred it to be a lot bigger. They're pretty tiny, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain about that. You got your shifter right here, gold stitching, leather, all your off-roading options that pretty much every other Wrangler has, or not every other Wrangler, just the Rubicon. So the Rubicon has the same thing. And then the dash is in this like plastic. It's like a metallic black. It's very shiny. I've never seen it in other Wranglers. Then you got more of the gold stitching here. And yeah, let's turn it on from here. You got the button right here. Yeah, that sounds good. So it pops up, tells you it's Wrangler. This thing is pretty much brand new. Got 200 miles on it. Got 120 on the dash. Let's close the doors and let's talk about the infotainment system. I believe this is an 8.4 inch Uconnect screen. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. You got media, you got climate, you got controls, you got heated seats, heated wheel. You got your backup camera. You guys know that FCA always has some great backup cameras, and again, you have it in here as well. You have your controls. Oh, I already went through that. You got your apps, nav, phone, settings. Let's go through the apps. Let's see what cool apps they have. So you have your travel link, which pretty much every FCA car has. You got your fuel prices, weather map, sports, movie listings. You can literally look up movie listings, so that's cool right there. But you guys probably seen that. You got your off-road pages right here. So yeah, now we're waiting. I don't know why the pages take so long on FCA cars or just on the Uconnect. That's one of the downfalls. Like even on my Hellcat, like the SRT pages take longer than they should. I don't know why, but here we got the pages to pop up. So here you got your driver train, you got your gauges, you got your pitch and roll, so that's cool. Let's head back out of here. What else you got? Yeah, backup camera, heated wheel. Nothing more. You got select tire fill alert. That's not working. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, on the inside, it looks pretty much like any other Wrangler. So one thing I forgot to mention is that it has active exhaust. So if you turn this off, the exhaust gets very quiet, as you see. So very quiet once you turn it back on. Yeah, it sounds a lot more meaner and aggressive. This thing has one cool little feature I almost forgot to mention. So you got this little button right here. Watch what it does. Yeah. It goes all the way back, literally with a click of this button right here. It goes all the way back there, and then you can click it to go back, and it goes back. Let me show you guys how it looks from outside. So here's how it looks from outside. It's not that noticeable. You would think it would fold and look kind of dumb from the outside, but it actually does not look that bad. So that's pretty cool. And then you can literally close it with a click of a button, and it actually works really, really fast. Faster than most sunroofs, believe it or not. And I'm gonna show you guys what the top looks like. It's a very soft top. And boom. So let's step on here, and here's what's on the top. It's like a soft blanket, and it's flat and flush with the rest of the body, so that's pretty cool. Let's jump in out of here. Let me show you guys the back seats. So here's the back seats, and then here is the sticker price. All right, so let's talk about that. I'm not sure why the Jeep is tripping. Okay, cool. Let's talk about the sticker price. So this starts out at $73,000. Wow, that's expensive. Then you got the 6.4 liter V8. You got the 8-speed automatic. I don't know if I forgot to mention that. And then you got pretty much every option possible. You got blind spots, parking sensors, off-road plus mode. I mean, backup camera, leather trimmed bucket seats, Uconnect, Sirius XM, all sort of shit. And then you come here, you got the 17-inch bead locks, you got the full-size spare, you got everything. And then here are the optional equipment. You got the color, which is $245. You got the mats, that's $165. You got the satin black grill by Mopar, that's $300. You got the top, that's the stuff that I was just folding, that right there. That was a $2,000 option, so you don't have to get it if you don't want. And then you got the tires, and then you got the hinge gate right there, that was almost $700. And you got a total price of $78,600 for a 392 Rubicon. And some of you guys might be like, that might be a little too much to pay for a Wrangler, but you guys haven't heard what makes this Wrangler special just yet. So let's hop in the Wrangler and talk about numbers, because I know everyone likes to know numbers. 0 to 60 times, quarter mile times, all sort of shit. So let's hop in there and talk about numbers. So let's talk numbers. The most important part of this video, because it's a Wrangler 392. It's not just a regular Wrangler. People are paying $20,000 more for this than a regular Rubicon. And here's why. It's not that it looks any different. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I haven't really noticed that many differences between this and a regular Rubicon besides these numbers that I'm about to tell you guys. So this thing does a 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which is pretty impressive for a 5,100 pound Jeep. I think that's pretty good. This thing only has 470 horsepower, so to be able to do a 4.5 0 to 60 is great. Let's talk about quarter mile times now. It does a quarter mile in 13.3. I'm losing my voice. Again, this thing isn't meant to be raced, but it's cool that it can go 13s and a 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds while still being an off-roading vehicle. They didn't make this so you could go race it. They just made it look cool and also gave it some power. But here's the bad part. Well, not really a bad part. I mean, this is expected. It only has a top speed of 99 miles per hour And that's only because it's governed to 99 miles per hour. So basically, they don't let you go over 99 miles per hour unless you tune it. You do have 120 on the dash. I think the main reason for that, top speed of 99 miles per hour is because of the tires. I think they don't want you to go that fast with these tires. So besides that, it's a very cool vehicle, honestly. Like, I actually like it. Oh, let's talk about one more thing. I almost forgot. I'll be forgetting things. Let's talk about the towing capacity. It's not there, okay? You really can't use this to tow anything besides a jet ski. The towing capacity in this thing is 3,500 pounds. It's not bad. Again, I don't see people using this to tow, but still a Jeep, I would think it should have more towing. That doesn't make sense. I think it should have a higher towing capacity than 3,500 pounds. So I guess you could tow your jet ski, but anything more than that, it might be a problem. So let's do a couple revs. Wow, that's amazing. And well, you sure as hell pay for that amazing sound. Let's talk about, what was I gonna talk about? Oh, fuel economy. Not that you guys care about fuel economy when buying something like this, because if you did care about it, you would just buy the regular Rubicon. But let's talk about fuel economy. This thing does 13 in the city and 17 in the highway. So yeah, you're gonna be spending most of your time at the gas station. This thing sucks on gas, which is pretty much expected. I mean, you put a 6.4 in a 5,000 pound Jeep, you're not gonna average good miles per gallon. But that's not why people buy this Jeep. They buy it because it's a Wrangler. They hold their value, they're cool, and now they have a 392 in there, so you could race pretty much all the other soccer moms and still look cool while having a ton of power. So yeah, you're gonna pay a hefty price for it, but if you got it, you got it.